Have you ever experienced that inexplicable, almost spiritual pull toward a specific creature? Not the casual fondness you feel for a pet, but a profound, mutual recognition, a feeling as if that animal is peering directly into the very essence of your soul, seeing a truth that even you might struggle to articulate. This isn't mere instinct or simple affection. It's something far more ancient, far more sacred. For millennia, across every culture and belief system, animals have held a unique status. They are often depicted not just as inhabitants of this world, but as ethereal messengers, steadfast guardians, and silent witnesses to the divine architecture that underpins all of existence, often far exceeding the limits of our limited human comprehension. But let's pause and consider a truly fascinating possibility. What if certain animals are endowed with an extraordinary, rare gift? What if they possess the inherent capability to perceive and acknowledge those individuals who have been specifically marked, set apart, or chosen by the Creator? It's a compelling thought that challenges our conventional understanding of the natural world. Yes, there is a profound belief that there are creatures on this earth whose senses extend far beyond the physical realm, allowing them to detect a divine radiance, a powerful spiritual energy, or an undeniable signature imprinted by the hand of the divine. This spiritual recognition bypasses the flawed filters of human judgment and worldly status. Today, we are going to embark on a journey to uncover the significance of 8 absolutely incredible animals. Each one is connected by an invisible, yet unbreakable thread to the higher spiritual dimensions. Each one is said to be irresistibly drawn toward those who carry the unmistakable mark of God's favor. And I must emphasize this point: you absolutely do not want to miss the final animal on this list. It holds a powerful, transformative revelation that has the potential to fundamentally alter the way you perceive your own spiritual journey and the boundless purpose placed upon your life. This final insight could be the key to unlocking a deeper self-awareness. Before we fully immerse ourselves in this captivating exploration, I invite you to take a moment for reflection. If you have an inner conviction that you are one of the chosen ones, if, in the quietest depths of your heart, you have always sensed that the gentle yet firm hand of God has been consistently directing your steps and charting your course, then I ask you to immediately like this video. If you haven't yet joined this community, subscribe right now, and then take a moment to drop the number 99 into the comments below. We use 99 as a symbol because it represents the flock, and we know that the shepherd often leaves the 99 safe ones to relentlessly pursue and find the single one who has strayed. Today, through this message, he is unmistakably calling to you. Are you ready to hear the call and begin this sacred journey? Let us now commence our discovery. Our first creature on this extraordinary list is the quintessential companion, the timeless guardian, the silent watcher who has stood faithfully by humanity's side since the dawn of time: the dog. While every dog exhibits loyalty, it's crucial to understand that not all dogs express their allegiance in the same way. There is a distinct group of dogs that aren't primarily drawn to displays of human strength, wealth, or worldly power. Instead, they are magnetized to something subtle, something invisible, something undeniably sacred emanating from a person. Their focus is not on the physical, but on the spiritual signature of the individual. Over and over again, countless compelling accounts emerge detailing the behavior of certain dogs who resolutely refuse to leave the side of great spiritual leaders, prophets, or those deeply immersed in profound, consecrated service. These dogs seem to possess an uncanny ability to sense the subtle but intense battles of the human soul, long before any mere mortal eye could ever perceive the struggle. In the ancient quiet halls of monasteries, it was well documented that certain dogs would instinctively gather and rest at the feet of monks who were lost deep in the trance of fervent prayer, their bodies motionless, their gaze fixed as if they, too, were witnessing a holy presence that others could only vaguely attempt to conjure or imagine. The annals of history are filled with countless, moving tales of dogs demonstrating an unparalleled, fearless courage, instinctively interposing themselves between a looming danger and an individual they recognized as chosen. This protection is offered not in exchange for a meager treat or a simple command, but for something infinitely higher, a loyalty that appears to transcend the boundaries of this material world. Furthermore, when a person carrying a true divine mark simply walks past, you might observe a particular dog sitting quietly, intensely watching and diligently guarding, as if offering a silent, deeply respectful salute to the unmistakable divine light that it instinctively recognizes within that soul. Why? We must ask, do they exhibit this profound behavior? Why would a creature of the earth, bound by its base, survival-driven instincts, dedicate itself so completely to a spiritual force it can neither physically grasp nor explain? The answer may lie in a higher calling. Perhaps some animals are not simply animals in the traditional sense. Maybe they are, in fact, designated protectors, placed upon this earth by heaven itself, to watch over the unfolding of the divine plan. If these faithful guardians see and choose you, offering their unwavering allegiance, it begs a much larger, more powerful question. What other unseen, powerful forces are watching and protecting you? The magnitude of that answer might be far more immense and reassuring than you currently realize. Stay with me, because the next creature we discuss doesn't just recognize the chosen. It is believed to carry the very essence and breath of the divine spirit. Now, we allow our gaze to ascend, rising far above the ceaseless, distracting noise of the world and the chaotic storms that often rage within the human heart. In the sky, we find a pure messenger of peace, a silent, delicate bearer of sacred news, the dove. Throughout the sweeping narratives of scripture and spiritual texts, the dove is consistently portrayed as far more than an ordinary bird. It stands as the quintessential emblem of profound purity, enduring hope, and most significantly, the gentle descent of the very Spirit of God upon specially chosen souls. Its symbolism is both ancient and deeply moving. When the patriarch Noah anxiously sought a definitive sign from a tumultuous heaven that the great flood was receding and life could begin anew, it was the dove that returned to the ark. It flew back with a freshly plucked olive branch held firmly in its beak, bringing not just a piece of foliage, but an embodied promise of renewal and a covenant with the divine. Yet even in our modern, often cynical era, there remain truly sacred moments when the dove's appearance is not a random natural occurrence, but an unmistakable divine appointment, meticulously timed and executed. Countless witnesses have recounted, in hushed and reverent tones, instances of doves gracefully landing at the precise instant a long, deeply held prayer was finally and miraculously answered. They speak of doves circling high above during baptisms, hovering over the water at the exact spiritual moment when a person's old, broken life symbolically dies, and a new life is triumphantly born in the light of Christ. There are healers and ministers who share compelling tales of a single, brilliant white dove manifesting suddenly within a room, appearing just as the deeply broken or ailing are made spiritually and physically whole again. These occurrences are not mere coincidence or a series of lucky chances. They are explicit, undeniable messages from a higher source. The message is clear: you are seen. You are chosen. You are loved with an unconditional, eternal love. Therefore, when a dove deliberately crosses your path, you must not simply dismiss it as just a common bird. Instead, recognize that it might very well be the soft, persistent whisper of the Holy Spirit itself, gently but firmly urging you to rise above your current circumstances, to believe in the impossible, and to profoundly remember the full, glorious truth of who you fundamentally are in the grand scheme of creation. But be advised, not every creature arrives to bring only comfort. Some are sent to rigorously test the mettle of your spirit, and the next one carries an immense strength that only the truly chosen can summon the will to endure and understand. It is essential to understand that not all spiritual recognition is delivered with a comforting softness or a gentle cooing. Some confirmations from the spirit realm demand a different kind of witness, a creature of immense power, relentless motion, and seemingly unstoppable force, yet one that remains profoundly bound by a sacred, ancient understanding. This creature is the horse, majestic, often untamed, seemingly born with an inherent destiny to run free with the wind and embody dynamic energy. And yet, when confronted with the presence of a truly chosen individual, they often do not exhibit the urge to run. Instead, they stand perfectly still, They may gently bow their magnificent heads. They pause and listen with a deep, inexplicable reverence. Throughout the vast tapestry of human history, powerful warriors, divinely inspired prophets, and kings anointed with a clear, divine purpose have shared an unspoken, powerful bond with horses. This connection was never rooted in a crude, forceful dominance, but in a mutual respect, a deep recognition of spirit acknowledging spirit on an equal plane. Stories persist, whispered among seasoned ranchers, weary travelers, and ancient nomads, about completely wild, unbridled horses deliberately approaching certain specific individuals. These were not people carrying threatening weapons or wielding political force, but those imbued with an undeniable aura of peace, spiritual gravity, and destiny. Moreover, in moments of utter chaos, when entire herds of animals stampede and a paralyzing fear spreads through the environment like wildfire, a remarkable phenomenon sometimes occurs. A single powerful horse will deliberately break away from the terrified mass and stand quietly, unmoving, before a chosen soul. It is as if the horse is acknowledging something profound that no physical eye can possibly see, but every sensitive heart can deeply feel. Why this profound deference? Because true, authentic strength does not need to shout, nor does it feel the need to aggressively command attention. It simply is anchored and unshakable. Horses, being creatures of such immense, raw, and unadulterated power, are drawn not to superficial appearances or outward boasts, but to the unshakable, foundational spirit anchored deep within the human soul. So, the next time a powerful horse fixes its gaze upon you with those deep, endless, and ancient eyes, you must pause. Stop your internal rush and allow yourself to be present. That may not just be a fleeting moment of interspecies connection. It may be a profound, silent recognition from a world far more complex and spiritually charged than this one. But you must also proceed with caution, because while horses deeply honor inner strength, the next majestic creature you are about to encounter honors something even more incredibly rare: the profound courage required to face the utter darkness of the world and remain completely unshaken in your faith. Now, we deliberately step into the undisputed realm of kings, the lion. This is not merely a formidable beast of enormous physical power, but a living, breathing symbol of divine authority and ultimate sovereignty. Across various sacred texts and spiritual traditions, the lion consistently represents raw strength, unchallengeable sovereignty, and the unbreakable, everlasting rule of heaven itself. Think of the powerful imagery of the Lion of Judah, whose resonant roar is said to shake the foundations of the earth and instantly silence every paralyzing fear. However, there are moments, incredibly rare and utterly sacred moments, when these majestic lions choose not to roar. They cease their instinctive hunt, and they refrain from killing. Instead, they choose to kneel, or at least demonstrate profound submission, before something they perceive as infinitely greater than their primal instinct. They consciously bow before the undeniable hand of God placed upon a chosen soul. There are ancient, credible testimonies, whispers passed down through generations of believers, of individuals thrown into pits with starving, enraged lions, only to be found hours later completely untouched, meticulously guarded by the very beasts that were sent there with the intent to destroy them. And even in contemporary times, across distant, often forgotten lands and secluded villages, compelling stories continue to persist. These are tales of lions silently circling a solitary traveler, not operating as aggressive predators, but acting as vigilant sentinels. There are accounts of lions standing watch through the deepest, darkest hours of the night, their eyes blazing like living torches, deliberately driving back unseen spiritual enemies that no human hand or weapon could possibly fight or defeat. Why do these creatures of such supreme power choose to do this? Because the lion instinctively recognizes true divine authority, and when it acknowledges the sacred seal of God upon a person, it does not dare to challenge it. Instead, it offers its fiercest protection to it. Please, always remember this profound truth. Wherever the divine spirit reigns supreme, even the wildest, most untamable forces of nature will instinctively bow down in a gesture of deep and abiding reverence. But this prompts another vital question. What happens when the final curtain of night falls, and the more subtle, less obvious creatures of darkness begin to stir? What is watching you then, from the profound shadows you cannot penetrate? Stay very close, because the next being does not announce its presence with a majestic roar. It simply watches and patiently waits. We now consciously leave the territory of the king's roar behind and venture into the silent, observing realm of the watchers, the owl. This creature is famously cloaked in the absolute darkness of the night, yet its vision is never impaired. With silent, powerful wings and piercing, all-knowing eyes, the owl serves as a vigilant guardian of secrets that remain carefully hidden from the bright, distracting waking world. Since the earliest recorded history, owls have consistently symbolized deep wisdom, but it is not the superficial wisdom found in dusty books or eloquent speeches. The profound wisdom they embody is of a different order. It is deep, it is often hidden from the common view, and it is undeniably sacred. Many compelling stories exist, tales of chosen souls who find themselves standing paralyzed at the decisive crossroads of destiny, besieged by moments of crushing fear, crippling confusion, and profound doubt. And suddenly, unexpectedly, from the surrounding shadows, an owl silently appears. This is not a chance sighting or an accidental flyby, but a deliberate sign. It may take the form of a single resonant call echoing through the dense night, a brief flash of its unique feathers against the pale moonlight, or a penetrating, unwavering gaze that seems to look straight into the core of your very soul. For those rare individuals who are spiritually awake enough to fully notice and interpret the sign, the owl delivers a silent, powerful, and deeply personal message. Trust your inner path. You are completely seen. You are not alone in this struggle. Some deeply moving testimonies speak of owls appearing moments before significant spiritual awakenings, before miraculous physical healings, before profound, life-altering revelations, or just preceding the exact pivotal moment when an entire life is permanently and fundamentally changed for the better. The reason is simple. The owl is believed to possess the sight to watch the intricate threads of fate meticulously twist and weave together. And when it sees a chosen one taking the monumental step into their true, destined calling, it marks that precise moment with a recognition as certain as the silent tolling of an invisible bell resonating in the deep night. But heed this warning. The owl does not appear for everyone. It is said to come only for those whose spirits are mature and ready to see far beyond the superficial surface of things, and who possess the courage to walk on paths that few others dare to tread. If you believe the watchers of the night are powerful, just wait until you encounter the creature that can perceive not merely what exists now, but what the future will be. Stay with me, because what is coming next has the power to awaken something ancient and profound within you. Sometimes, the most significant spiritual signs arrive not with a dramatic noise, nor with overwhelming force, but with a whisper so gentle it is barely felt or registered. This is the realm of the cat. These creatures are inherently mysterious, often elusive, and seem to move with an easy grace between the worlds we struggle to understand. For centuries, cats have been revered as creatures intimately attuned to invisible, spiritual realms. They are said to sense with an almost infallible accuracy what the limitations of the human eye cannot see, and they feel deeply what the often distracted human heart consistently ignores. Cats do not operate by following commands or exhibiting blind obedience. They are utterly unimpressed by displays of temporal power or outward, superficial appearances. Instead, they are drawn like a magnet to something far rarer and purer, authentic peace and genuine, undeniable light. The historical record is rich with countless stories of cats suddenly approaching an individual, deep in the state of prayer, curling up immediately beside them, or resting their weight upon the person's chest, purring a rhythmic song that only heaven seems to truly hear or recognize. Some spiritual scholars suggest that cats serve as guardians or navigators between the physical and spiritual worlds, capable of feeling the subtle tremors of unseen, energetic battles. And when they locate a soul bathed in a deep, peaceful, divine presence, they draw themselves close, as if warming themselves by an invisible, comforting fire. A cat resting contentedly near you during your deepest, most vulnerable prayers, a cat intently staring into an empty corner of a room, as if watching a sacred event unfold. These are rarely random, coincidental moments. They are profound acknowledgments from a highly sensitive creature, tuned into spiritual frequencies that lie far beyond the scope of human sensory comprehension. If you have ever felt the gentle, deliberate weight of a cat choosing you specifically at your lowest point, or during your most intense prayerful moments, internalize this truth. You are not walking alone, but prepare yourself. Because not all spiritual energies are gentle and soothing. Not all powerful forces are content to simply observe from a distance. The next animal we will discuss does not just quietly observe the chosen, it actively and relentlessly tests them. Sometimes the most powerful and transformative sign of all does not announce its presence with a resounding roar. It does not stare menacingly from the shadows of the night. It simply floats, silent, delicate, and utterly vulnerable, yet carrying the profound weight of heaven itself on its fragile painted wings. This is the butterfly. At first glance, it is so small, so seemingly insignificant, and so easily overlooked in the grand rush of life. Yet, for those individuals who are truly spiritually awake and sensitive, the timely and specific appearance of a butterfly is never, ever just a coincidence or a lovely accident of nature. Throughout the vast expanse of the ages, the butterfly has consistently been a universal symbol of spiritual rebirth, the necessary death of the painful old self, and the triumphant rise of the spirit, newly renewed and illuminated by divine light. There are a multitude of credible testimonies detailing the appearance of butterflies during the most sacred, private moments, during deep heartfelt prayers, at the final, solemn farewell of a cherished loved one, or at the exact, pivotal moment when a soul consciously chooses hope and radical faith over paralyzing despair and doubt. Often, it is not just a single butterfly, but sometimes dozens, rising seemingly from nowhere, dancing gracefully around those individuals whose hearts are wide open and receptive to the unseen, spiritual world. It is as if the heavens have commissioned a gentle, fluttering reminder, a divine whisper that says, "You are transforming. You are seen. You are held by a loving force." Butterflies are not drawn to those whose spirits are static or resistant to change. They are attracted to the ones who are actively crossing a sacred, transformative threshold, who are courageously shedding old pain, deep-seated doubts, and stepping purposefully into a greater, more defined, divine purpose. Their wings carry not just physical beauty, but profound whispers of another higher world, a world where every single tear, every silent prayer, and every unseen battle is intimately known and acknowledged. Therefore, the next time a butterfly intentionally finds you in a moment of deep prayer or profound reflection, do not thoughtlessly brush it away. Do not ignore its presence, for it may be the very breath of God delivering a powerful message directly to you. You are becoming. And now, we ascend to the summit, reaching the absolute pinnacle of divine recognition. This is the eagle, a creature that soars effortlessly high above the material world, with eyes that possess a vision no human can match, and with magnificent wings that seem to stretch across the vast expanse of the heavens themselves. The eagle is the ultimate symbol of supreme vision, not just physical sight, but the rare divine ability to see clearly beyond the immediate veil of physical reality. In Scripture, the eagle is a recurring and powerful motif, representing a creature that miraculously renews its strength, rises effortlessly above the fiercest storms, and serves as a vigilant watchman over those who are truly chosen. Isaiah 40:31 offers a timeless promise. "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint." The eagle does not simply fly. It intentionally rises above, and when it soars, it sees the destined path that others cannot perceive. It is privy to the divine plan, the larger, more complete picture, and the ultimate truth that lies ahead. There are numerous powerful stories of eagles appearing at moments when divine protection is most desperately needed, particularly when a soul is at a critical crossroads, or when the immense weight of the world feels utterly unbearable. The eagle then purposefully swoops down from the sky, a living, dynamic sign that heaven has never forgotten you. Sometimes, in the deepest quiet of sacred moments, a solitary eagle will suddenly appear. Its monumental wings will be spread wide in a posture of blessing, and its majestic gaze will be absolutely unwavering. For a fleeting, powerful moment, you are given an undeniable reminder that your unique path is constantly watched over, that your journey is profoundly meaningful, and that you are destined for something far greater than your current struggles. But the eagle, like the owl, does not come for all people. It comes specifically to those who are meant to rise dramatically above their immediate circumstances, to consciously see their life from an elevated new perspective, and to walk forward with unshakable divine strength and extraordinary vision. So if you ever find yourself gazing toward the sky and an eagle decisively crosses your path, know this: it is a powerful sign that you are being called higher. You are intensely protected, and you are destined to soar. But before you take this magnificent flight, there is one final profound secret left for us to uncover, a concluding truth that will completely change everything you thought you knew about this journey, perhaps. The ultimate revelation is not solely about these 8 magnificent animals recognizing us. Maybe, just maybe, the truest purpose of this entire exploration is about us learning to recognize the omnipresent divine presence reflected in all of God's breathtaking creation. Every single creature we have explored today, from the fiercely loyal dog who guards our steps to the magnificent eagle who teaches us to soar high, carries within it a singular, divine message, a gentle, persistent whisper, an ultimate reminder that we are all inextricably connected to each other, to the earth beneath our feet, and to the eternal, guiding hand of the divine itself. If you consciously carry the sacred fire of faith, the enduring power of hope, and the unconditional light of love within the deepest chamber of your heart, know this profound truth: even the simplest, most unassuming creatures of this earth can sense it. Your inner light, the spiritual fire within you, shines far brighter than you are currently able to comprehend. You are never ever alone in your journey. You are constantly watched over, meticulously guided, and the very world that surrounds you sees and acknowledges the undeniable, luminous mark of God's enduring love upon you. May your spirit continue to shine with such intensity and truth that every facet of creation recognizes and honors it. May the strong winds of heaven gently lift you to spiritual places that lie far beyond the limitations of your current imagination. May you walk forward in unshakable strength, with unwavering purpose, and with the undeniable internal knowing that you were chosen. Stay blessed, remain incredibly strong, and never forget this: your profound, miraculous journey is far from over. If this deeply powerful message resonated within your heart, I urge you not to let its power dissipate. Please, immediately like this video. Share it right now with someone you know who desperately needs to hear this comforting truth. And make sure to subscribe so you won't miss any more of our soul-awakening videos. And in the comments section below, type this declarative statement with power and conviction: I carry the divine light within me. Let your declaration be visible to the world. Let your words echo the profound spiritual power you have just realized is inherent within you. As you step back into the flow of your day, carry this single unwavering truth: you were born to soar. You were born to lead. You were born to leave an indelible, positive mark on this world. Now go and make it happen.